Okay, magandang umaga sa inyo. Sorry to keep you waiting and thank you for coming over on such short notice. So we continue our efforts based on the directive of the president to help our OFWs, especially those in Israel who are affected by the continuing missile attacks by Iran upon Israel. Uh, so what we've done thus far is to look out for those who are uh, uh, displaced or have lost their homes, as reported also by our Philippine embassy. There are at least six areas na tinitignan natin na talagang heavily or badly hit ng Iranian missile attacks. Focusing on, we've already mentioned Rehovot and Bnei Brak and Ben Yehuda are the top three. So we are working on sheltering those who need homes. We just need to understand the situation that when one's home is destroyed or damaged by Iranian missile fire, that person, yung Pinoy caregiver na yon, uh, will seek government help, bibigyan ng financial assistance. Kung kailangan niya ng sheltering, isi-shelter natin. But dun sa aspeto ng shelter, usually, may option yung worker. Maaari siyang magstay on to his or her employer o tumira sa kaibigan. Okay? So just to give you an idea na not all whose homes have been destroyed or who have been displaced necessarily are homeless. Okay? Because they could very well still be living with their employer. Maaring na-destroy yung home, but they could still be with their employer and they could be residing somewhere else. Okay? Or dun sila sa kaibigan at most especially sa ating mga hostel. So we have at least a hostel that we have in North Tel Aviv, and we have one in Rehovot, and we have one at the MWO in Tel Aviv. So that makes uh, um, three shelters that we're running thus far, and there will be a fourth one that we're looking at. And there we will also house those who need to be housed or sheltered. So that's ongoing effort. Yung pag-distribute namin ng financial assistance ay patuloy din ang pamamahagi na sinasagawa natin. Of course, yung medical help in coordination naman yan with the host government, with the Israeli side. So we're thankful to them and their employers, of course, na dinadala kaagad sa ospital, such as the two whom we are still monitoring in hospital. One of them, as you know, in critical condition, nagkaroon na siya ng operasyon, successful ang operasyon as far as we know, but still praying that she will get well soon. Ano? So minomonitor pa rin yung kanyang sitwasyon. So that's one side of it. The second part is on repatriation. And indeed, the president has given a directive na, to start mobilizing our resources to undertake repatriation of Filipino nationals, of OFWs, in partnership with the DFA, who want to come home. As you know, we are still in voluntary repatriation mode. Okay? Hindi pa itong panahon ng mandatory repatriation, so we pretty much call on our workers to avail of our repatriation services which has been going on anyway, 'di ba? Since October 7, 2023, kaya halos 2,000 na yung napauwi natin mula sa Israel at well, sa Israel lang. Sa Lebanon another equal number, mga 2,000. So almost 4,000 na yung napauwi natin between Israel and Lebanon. Today it stands at 178 who have requested for repatriation, and we are processing their documents. 28 are travel ready. So we are set to mobilize, and the president has given clear and strong instructions for us to be at the front, uh, and oversee, oversee, the look over, hindi overlook, iba yun. To look over to supervise the repatriation effort together with the DFA. That is why myself and Assistant Secretary Benny Legaspi and another officer will travel to Beirut tomorrow and onward to Amman, Jordan. I don't want to disclose any other details, although you might already have an idea how it will be done, but I don't want to disclose any further details about the repatriation effort. But rest assured, you will come to know about the first batch of Israel OFWs who will be coming home. Ayoko lang i-disclose kung paano namin sila i-repatriate at this stage. Okay, there will be a time to disclose the details of how they are repatriated. But for security purposes, hindi ko muna babanggitin. I hope you understand. Then we have uh, Administrator PY Kaunan to fill in on the other details, because obviously our dear OWA welfare officers are also at the forefront. So, Admin P?
Hello, Sec.
Hello,
Hello to
Sec.
my
Hello.
fellow USECs. May feedback po ba? Okay na. Okay, hello, Sec. Hello, Yusek Feli,
Loud and
Yusek
clear.
Bernard, Partner Bernard, Yusek June. Hello po sa inyong lahat. Of course, katuwang ang OWA ng DMW at ng DFA po sa pagbigay ng tulong sa ating mga kababayan. Um, Kami po ay, wait lang sa kami kami po ay we are already in the process no of preparing for the repatriation po ng ating mga kababayan as mentioned by our secretary. So handa po kami at ginagawa na po ang lahat upang siguraduhin yung safe repatriation ng mga kababayan natin na anunsyo ng ating mahal na kalihim na ready na for repatriation. Tuloy-tuloy rin po ang pakikipagtulungan ng ating welfare officer sa ating migrant workers office at sa ating pong embahada pagbigay ng tulong pinansyal at saka in the form of um, food packs, kung ano po ang kailangan no paghanap ng temporary accommodation. But this time ang idagdag ko lang is yung efforts ng ating labor attaché and well-offs na tawagan yung ating mga kababayan that requested for assistance at saka yung pong nagbigay po ng notice sa atin na kailangan po nila ng kailangan po nila na makontak sila ng embahada at ng MWO natin. So tayo na po ang tumatawag sa kanila, iniisa-isa po natin ang listahan ng mga kababayan natin na kailangan po ng assistance sa ngayon. So Sec, doon na lang po muna ako at update lang po doon sa ating kababayan, dalawang kababayan natin na naka-confine pa rin po. Naka-monitor pa rin po ang embahada at tayo po sa OWA at ang DMW and still praying po for their quick recovery at yung ating pong isang kababayan ay pending na po yung order ng doktor na ma-discharge siya. So we're looking at that kung kaya na po niyang ma-discharge, then we will facilitate po, Sec. Yun lang po muna, Sec. Thank you very much.
So, Admin P, I need to mention Iran because Iran is also part of the clear directive of the president to secure the safety and safe repatriation of our compatriots there. So there is an ongoing effort, again, in tandem with the DFA and Ambassador Roberto Manalo on the ground, PE Tehran. And asensya na, again, I won't disclose details, but we are looking at least around 14 OFWs who have expressed the wish to be helped one way or another. So we're working closely with the DFA, especially in the area of their safe repatriation. Again, I
Sec,
will not
madagdag ko, ay
disclose
sorry.
for their
Go ahead,
safety and
sir.
security. I will not disclose any details on how they will be repatriated, but you will get to know once nakauwi na sila. Okay, I hope you understand, guys. Uh, the implementation of the president's repatriation directive is first and foremost, and number two, of course, the safety and welfare of our OFW. So ganun muna, and Admin P is also on board. So again, it's a joint DMW OWA effort. This effort we're doing also in Iran. Admin
Sec,
P.
yes, Sec, dagdag ko lang po din that the DMW and OWA augmentation team, Sec, they're already also on their way, no? Pinoprocess lang po yung kailangan gawin, pero they will be deployed doon po sa mga areas na kakailanganin po yung additional na tulong ng mga teams po natin from DMW and OWA. So, ano na rin po yan, Sec, on the way na rin po sila. Thank you.
Assured, we are working on Iran as well and our dear OFWs there. Say something about uh, recruitment agencies. As you know, we are the regulatory body, no, in charge of regulating the recruitment agencies and uh, any and all recruitment agencies who have deployed workers to the Middle East. So we have asked them to heighten, no? Red alert na rin silang lahat to please coordinate with their employers and foreign placement agencies, especially in Jordan and Lebanon and Israel. Although sa Israel may deployment ban for newly hired, but nevertheless, sinama na rin natin. And Iran. We have heightened the requirement to mandatorily submit monitoring reports and deployment lists and enhance welfare monitoring, and also to provide us with their updated, in the context of the current conflict, their updated specific contingency plans for their workers. And then, of course, yung kanilang travel-related responsibilities to repatriate, to book flights if a worker wants to come home, and to coordinate with the respective offices. So yun na lamang. So even the private sector, the recruitment agencies, we have also brought them into to crisis mode, if I may say so, red alert, no? Lahat kami naka-red alert ngayon to help anyone, especially in the covered areas, Iran, Israel, Jordan, and Lebanon. So thank you.
Okay, now we proceed to our question and answer portion. Let me remind our media friends na to tell your name and entity muna. Then one major questions and one follow-up questions. There are mics na dito sa makasama natin. You can get those mic if you wish to give your questions. Okay, we'll start first. Bien o PTB4?
Good morning po. Bian Manalo po, PTV4. Kumpirmado na po ba yung pagdating ng first batch ng repatriated OFW from Israel this week? At ano po yung matatanggap nilang tulong?
We are preparing for and arranging for repatriation of the first batch. Pero pasensya muna, I won't give a timeline muna. But rest assured, it is being done and it will be done as soon as possible. Hindi ko muna ibibigay yung detalye. Pag uwi nila, lahat ng detalye sasabihin namin sa inyo. And assistance, assistance, ito pa rin yung whole of government approach na inatasan ng ating Pangulo, di ba? You've seen us at the airport so many times already, including our big chartered flight effort from Beirut last October. There, you have witnessed the mobilized whole of government approach na since day one, direktiba ng ating presidente. So DMW is there, OWA is there, Department of Health, SecTed and SecRex and the DSWD, DG Kiko Benitez and the TESDA also there. And of course, I need to mention our airport partners, DOTR, and of course, our colleagues, our natural partners at the Department of Foreign Affairs. So our thanks to Sec Ricky Manalo, incoming Sec Tess Lazaro, and the DFA family, ambassadors on the ground.
Sec, klaruin ko lang po, no? Yung 178 na nag-request ng repatriation from Israel, lahat po ba sila ay OFW or may mga undocumented po doon?
Well, ang OFW can be documented or undocumented. So as far as we're concerned, they are all OFWs.
Ay, thank you, Sec.
Hi, Sec. Michelle Abad from Rappler. Sir, we're noticing here that the trend of the numbers are more or less the same than when the conflict has been going around 2000, right? Tama po ba, sir, from the beginning pa? Hindi lang po ngayon. So we can notice here na majority pa rin ng mga OFW sa Israel ay willing pa rin magstay doon sa kanila. Meron po bang insight into bakit gusto pa rin magstay? Is it the same reasons as before na yung nature of the work?
But let me say at the outset that we are on voluntary repatriation mode, meaning to say it's based on the will of the person, the judgment of the person, of the caregiver. Our dear OFWs took it upon themselves to seek work abroad. So the return at this stage is also dependent upon their better judgment. So for me, it's not really a question of whether or not a majority of them choose to stay, but rather a question of how effective will we help those who choose to return. So yan ang sinasagawa natin ngayon at yan ang pinag-utos ng ating Pangulo. And yes, the answer continues to be many of our OFWs are in care work that is world-class Filipino kind of care. They are caregivers. About 80% of OFWs in Israel are caregivers. And by the nature of their work, they work closely, have emotional as well as professional ties with their elderly patients or wards, and therefore are committed, dedicated to their work. And that is why it's not so easy for them to let go, to come home, because it's pretty much part of their responsibility to take care of their patients, of their wards, lalo na kung elderly. So it's still pretty much based on the nature of their work. With regard to the salary or financial gain out of working in Israel, yes, that is a factor too. But we have been addressing that over the last few months, even in Lebanon, right? The president has instructed us to step up our financial assistance efforts. Hindi yung token lang na halos hindi matutulungan yung worker na mag-cope. Kasi safety nets itong nature ng financial assistance namin. These are not doleouts, no? These are safety nets to stem the tide for our OFWs who lost their jobs or temporarily lost their jobs. So yung 75,000 that we will give and the 75,000 OWA counterpart will be just about 2 months salary for somebody, an Israeli caregiver. So it will stem the tide somehow. And then the TESDA training certificate of Sec Kiko Benitez will come into play. Pa-training muna sila during the period where they temporarily lose their jobs and perhaps upskill or go to other fields. And then of course, itong tulong ni Secretary Ted, malaking bagay din yun kasi yung medical assistance kahit papaano maiibsan yung gastusin ng isang tao, caregiver, sa medical expense kung sasagutin na ng pamahalaan o ni DOH ni SecTed yung medical services na kinakailangan. And then SecRex is also coming in with its own financial package assistance and counseling and other services from the stress debriefing and other services from the DSWD side. Wala pa dyan yung employment facilitation and dole sides in SecBeni, yung livelihood opportunities ng partner agencies natin, DOT, DTI, DA. So it's a question of how effectively we could help those who voluntarily choose to return.
Sir, just one follow-up. No, I know that the DFA is the one that's in charge of setting the alert level, but does the DMW have a say? Do they also make recommendations? What is the threshold that maybe the DMW would have to suggest to the DFA to change it? If you can answer that. Thank you.
The DFA, they are the political and security experts. We honor their leadership at the one country team level. So it is the ambassador's call, it is the Secretary of Foreign Affairs call, and we will always defer to the DFA judgment. Our job is to help those in need, regardless of the alert level, right? One who seeks to be repatriated on a voluntary basis will be no different from one who will be mandatorily repatriated in the event of alert level 4. Pareho yan silang kailangan tulungan, kailangan bigyan ng reintegration assistance na pinag-utos ng Pangulo. So for us, it's more of focusing on our work, which is sino ba ang nangangailangan ng tulong? Displaced, gustong umuwi, nasugatan, and all other types of assistance or situations na napaloob ang ating mga OFWs.
Okay, dito muna, then Miss Cherry of SMNI, then J. Mark of RP.
Jean Mangalos from Philstar. Question lang po, so tama po na ongoing pa rin yung deployment to conflict areas like Israel even if red alert yung mga agencies?
Right now, it's 2, no? So that means new hires are prohibited. Pwede ang returning. Technically speaking, why do I say technically speaking? Because they still can't travel because their airspace is closed. The international airport is closed. That is why, hindi pala natin nabanggit, yung ongoing effort natin to help the stranded. So right now, the count for the stranded, Yusek Feli, would you have the number? So I'll ask Yusek Feli to report on those who are stranded. We have been helping, and so far, we have identified at least 2 hubs, maybe even more, Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Most of them stranded in the transit hub that is Dubai. So I'll ask Yusek Feli to make a report on this. We'll put in alalan.
Yes, we have assisted for those who are stranded in Dubai at the Dubai International Airport, 48, 15 coming from Jordan and 32, 15 Jordan bound and 33 Israel bound. So they were assisted by our migrant workers office in Dubai. And late this afternoon, we have 4 who are also Israel bound. They will be returning through Etihad. They're coming from Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Sir, 4 pa lang po yung na-arrange ko. Yeah. Yeah, they're
The 10, yan siguro. But they have been assisting 10. So 10 plus 48, that's 58.
58
58.
total.
So tama po na even if pwede technically pumunta sa Israel, yung mga returning OFWs, they can't. Kasi
Advisory na wag muna magpatuloy. And the same is true with Jordan. Yun nga, banggit ni Yusek Fel na pati mga Jordan-bound OFWs, bumabalik din. So they are turned back. So nag-advisory rin kami na wag na kayong pumunta muna. Kaya nga kasama rin yan sa aming advisory sa recruitment agencies. Wag nyo nang padala muna yung mga ipadadala ninyo sa Jordan dahil they will just be turned back.
sorry, last question. Kung kunyari magpadala pa rin yung mga agencies ng OFWs in these areas, do they face any penalties or punishments? Yeah, for agencies.
Yes, of course. Kasi may directive na kami. That's part of our regulatory authority over them. When we speak in a regulatory sense, then they have to comply. And yes, yung cost of travel, habulin namin sila doon. Kung kami ang gumasto sa papa ko.
Ms. Cherry?
Good morning po. Si Cherry po ng SMNI. Yung sinabi po ni Yusik Bay, na yung in-update nyo po na mga na-stranded, more than 80. Kasali na po ba yung 70 na na-mention other day ni SEC na 70 na na-stranded? Kasama na po ba doon? At 10 pa yung nandun sa Abu Dhabi? Kumusta na po? Opo. Nakauwi na po ba yon yung 17 po na na-stranded din po? 17 po.
Hindi 70.
17.
Yeah,
17.
Kasama yan,
17
kasama yan,
po.
kasama yan.
Doon sa
70,
80.
diba?
Tapos yung 10 rin po na na-mention nyo na nandun sa Abu Dhabi, kasama rin po? Hindi pa ho? So ilan na po ba lahat-lahat sa ngayon yung mga may stranded po? Update lang. Hingi lang po ng update.
Yung
May stranded pa.
the total that we mentioned earlier is 48 plus the 10 from Abu Dhabi, which we have, we are still arranging our migrant workers office. But of the 10, 4 will be arriving this afternoon. So if you may ask, ano po yung ginawa nila during that time that they were stranded, they were assisted by our migrant workers office in Dubai and in Abu Dhabi. Some of them, they were housed in hotels, into hotels through the airlines, and it's the airlines which handle their repatriation, except for 5, which was handled by the migrant workers office in Dubai.
Ayun.
So, and they were also given financial assistance at the time of upon their arrival. They were also welcomed and assisted by our DMW and OWA team.
Ayun. So, pagkatapos niyan, wala na pong stranded pag nakauwi na sila dito sa sa Pinas. Yung last batch po, wala na po.
Yes, oo.
Okay.
Ito lang yung lumilipad na kasi sila
Opo.
na anak.
Yan yung last batch po. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you po.
Tatlong araw lang na na tinutumbok eh. Yung Friday na nangyari yung attack sa Iran, yung Saturday na hindi pa masyado alam na sarado na yung airspace, at yung Linggo nun. So those 3 days, that particular weekend,
Mhm.
yun yung tinutumbok na yung mga nag-alisan during those 3 days na na-stranded.
Sige po. Thank you.
Kay Mark of RP1.
Good afternoon po. Yung sa mga OFW na nasa Israel, tama po ba? Yung 178 out of 2,000 yung population nila. How about naman po sa Iran? Ilan po yung target nating mailikas po doon?
So far, kasi sa Iran, meron na ring ban, alert level, alert level 2 yata. 2, okay. So meron na ring ban on new hires sa Iran. So, limited na rin ang bilang ng mga nade-deploy doon. So ang bilang ng embahada natin is around 30 OFWs. Karamihan ng Pilipino sa Iran ay kasal sa Iranian nationals at yung mga anak nila with the Iranian nationals. So 30, pero itong huling pag-uusap namin ni Ambassador Manalo is meron around 14 who have expressed the need for assistance. So I'll stop there with regard to Iran, kasi sabi ko nga kanina, sinaayos na yung repatriation ng mga gustong umuwi doon sa 14. Pero I will stop there and not disclose any further, kasi for security purposes, hindi ko nababanggitin pa kung ano yung effort natin to repatriate them.
And lastly po, yun sa naman po, i-clarify ko na lang din po, yung nabanggit kanina ni Ma'am doon sa mga na-stranded, kasama rin po ba doon yung iniulat din po ng DA na may mga officials din po na na-stranded doon, or more on civilian lang po yun, hindi po mga government officials?
Pabaro namin sila sa gobyerno, but hindi sila OFWs, so outside of our scope. Another government agency takes care of them.
So yung binanggit ni Ma'am, puro mga OFW lang yun. Okay. Para lang po malinaw. Thank you po.
Okay, may question sir sa Zoom. Banggitin ko lang yung isang question dito sa ating Zoom. From Agence France Press, si Cecil Morelia. Ang question po niya is, are we evacuating any Filipino diplomats based in Israel and Iran? And if so, how many?
Alam namin wala, but nevertheless, that belongs to the sphere of the DFA. Siguro tanungin na lang natin, DFA. So pagkakaalam namin, wala.
Yeah, thank you, Sec. Secretary, good afternoon. Earlo Bringas from Net25. Alamin ko lang po kung may marino po ba na naapektuhan of this Israel-Iran conflict.
So far wala, but we continue to monitor the situation. We put out a notice to prohibit ship owners from boarding Filipino seafarers on ships that will dock or anchor in two places with high alert levels as imposed by the DFA. This would be Yemen and Haiti. So meron tayong notice na bawal mag-board ng Filipino seafarers sa mga ship owners, sa ships that are bound that will dock in Yemen or Haiti. Haiti, of course, hindi kasama sa Middle East. But yun, and then we are monitoring the situation continually. Lalo na aside from the Red Sea, to monitoring the situation of Phil seafarers on ships that will go through the Strait of Hormuz in Iran, near Iran.
Thank you po.
Sir, good afternoon. I am Mike Guyavi from RMND XL. Sir, meron ba tayong preparation din in terms of employment in case na itong ating pong mga iuwi na mga Pilipino ay hindi na babalik dun sa kanilang pinagtatrabuhan? Meron ba tayong contingency plan in terms of the ready employment for them?
Sabi ko nga kanina, dalawang larangan yan. Una, yung gusto magsanay patungo sa upskilling, upskilled employment or ibang larangan ng employment. So, nandyan nga yung mga free vouchers ni DG Kiko Benitez na may training allowance na will be supported by our financial assistance habang gusto magsanay ng tao. So that's one. Pagsasanay tungo sa panibagong empleyo. But also, sa empleyo mismo, nandiyan dyan si Sec Benny Lagues, Matsadole, at kami naman din sa overseas employment side, the conduct of job fairs and other employment facilitation services that we can provide. We do not provide the employment itself, but we can facilitate yung employment ng mga returning. In fact, this has happened. Meron na kaming namarkahan ng mga should I say, good practices or positive developments sa mga nanumbalik from Lebanon and Israel in the past, kung naalala nyo. So natatrack namin yung mga nanumbalik halimbawa from Lebanon na nag-train under DG Kiko's TESDA courses like caregiving, pagbarista, ganyan. Tapos naka-move on sila to other employment. So yes, the short answer is yes, employment is also definitely in our sights.
So nakita ko yung number ng mga nagpahayag ng kahandaan for repatriation, 178. Are we saying na parang mas marami pa rin mga OFWs para ang mas mananaisin pa na manatili na muna sa Israel at patuloy yung kanilang pagtatrabaho doon kaysa umalis sa bansang yon?
Yeah, dagdag ko lang muna yung doon sa tanong mo kanina. Tama yung binanggit ni Yusek Ferry, self-employment kasama rin doon. So yung pagnenegosyo, livelihood, meron na mga nagtayo ng negosyo. Siguro nga kailangan natin isiwalat yon para puntahan nila yung paunlakan nyo yung mga nagtayo ng negosyo ng mga returning workers para naman magkaroon ng mas masigabo pang negosyo yung ating mga nanunumbalik na OFWs. To your question, sorry nakalimutan ko.
Yung number kasi 178 to signify the intention.
Tumaasa tayo na madadagdagan. Numerically naman talagang madadagdagan at madadagdagan yan. Yung 178. It's a question of yung growth, yung trend, no? And it was 85 before Friday, the attack on Iran last Friday, and now it's 178. So we're approaching 100 since last Friday. So there's no question that there is continued interest and voluntariness on the part of our OFWs. I think Admin PY put out a clear guidance to all kung paano ma-avail yung voluntary repat. So, Admin P, you might want to say something about that, yung voluntary repat call ninyo.
Thank you.
Yes, Sec. Just reminding everyone po, yung ating pong pinost sa ating Facebook page and social media pages for voluntary repatriation para sa ating mga kababayan. Sa mga nais pong umuwi sa Pilipinas, maaari nang sumailalim sa voluntary repatriation program po ng DMW OWA. Mag-email lang po sa israel@owa.gov.ph. Ulitin ko po, mag-email lamang po sa israel@owa.gov.ph at inyo pong ilakip or ipadala rin po sa amin ang kopya ng inyong passport, yung kasama po yung page na may picture at pirma, yung inyong pong latest visa, at huwag pong kakalimutan ilagay yung inyong pong mobile number. Kami na po ang tatawag sa inyo. So ulitin ko lang po ulit sa mga kababayan po natin na gusto na hong bumalik ng Pilipinas, repatriation, please mag-email lang po israel@owa.gov.ph. Kopya po ng passport, yung bio page ng passport na merong picture at pirma, latest visa po, at yung inyo pong mobile number.
Thank you, Admin. Next question
I think may
from
question
the
pa
daily.
may question dun sa Zoom chat page. Address
Yes,
ko na
Admin.
rin.
Tapos,
Opo. Yung question regarding aside from the 178 OFWs in Israel from Gerard Naval, may we ask if there are also OFW numbers of those seeking to be repatriated from Lebanon, Iran, and Jordan? On the part of OWA, I think after me, Yusik Feli can chime in also. On the part of OWA, as we have mentioned, we have a 24/7 operation center. We work with the DMW closely on having this hotline, no? So since nung nagsimula po ito, we have received 3 requests from Jordan mula sa mga NOKs nila, and we have endorsed this already to our team in Amman as well as the Philippine Embassy. Isa naman po ang request na natanggap namin mula sa Iraq. Isang kababayan natin na nag-cross country partner from Dubai to Iraq ang nagre-request ng repatriation. Ito po ay nakikipag-ugnayan na tayo sa ating Philippine Embassy sa Baghdad. So isa sa Iraq, at meron din naman po kaming natanggap through our 24/7 operation center ng isa from Lebanon. Pero po nagpa-follow up kami kasi nung tinatawagan na po namin, hindi pa po sumasagot, but we are on this. And so yun po, 1 from Lebanon, 1 from Iraq, and 3 from Jordan as of today. Pero tuloy-tuloy lang po yung tawag. Ang mga natatanggap naming tawag, mostly po mula sa mga pamilya ng mga kababayan natin at nagtatanong tungkol sa mga proseso in case na magdesisyon ng kanilang kapamilya na mag-repatriate. So with that, in total po, mga 25 yung natanggap na nating tawag mula sa pamilya ng mga kababayan natin dito sa mga areas na ito. Kaya i-remind ko na rin po, patuloy po no, na naka-open po yan, yung DMW OWA hotline na 1348, national hotline natin, para po sa nasa labas ng Pilipinas, +632-1348. At tuloy-tuloy din po ang pagtanggap namin ng mga emails at owacares@owa.gov.ph, at sa lahat ng social media accounts ng DMW at OWA, pati po yung mga WhatsApp and Viber numbers po namin. Lahat po yan ay papunta doon sa call center natin, sa operation center natin, na nakatutok naman po ang mga personnel ng OWA at ang DMW. Maraming salamat po.
Another question po from our Zoom is yung from Ma'am Marita Muawe of Philippine News Agency. Question po niya dito is clarification lang po, yung 75,000 would be from OWA's Action Fund, and will the OWA also give financial assistance like before, Admin?
I will answer this and then
Marita.
I'll give baliktad. Sek,
Oo
ako
nga,
muna
oo nga.
para yung Action Fund is not with OWA. The Action Fund is with the Department of Migrant Workers, and as mentioned po ni Sec Hans, sa mga uuwi po nating mga kababayan na naapektuhan nitong conflict ngayon na meron tayo, the DMW through the Action Fund will give 75,000. And then po, from OWA, katulad ng binigay po natin sa mga kababayan nating umuwi from Lebanon, we will be providing a financial package, integrated na po dyan, yung reintegration package, we will be providing an additional 75,000. So in total, the DMW and OWA will be giving yung mga kababayan po natin, i-repatriate natin from affected areas from Israel, a total of 150,000 pesos pagdating po dito sa Pilipinas. Sek, tama po ba yung sinabi ko, Sek? Para clarify na.
Perfect. May ka-text na nga akong iba, hindi na ako nakinig, Admin P, dahil tama yung sinabi mo. It's Mamarita, that is a DMW fund, and then the counterpart ng OWA to make it 150. That will be just around the neighborhood of 2 months salary ng Israel. So kahit paano pantawid dito.
Sek, madagdag ko rin. So ang DMW, para lang klaro tayo kasi syempre no sa conflict na to, maraming maraming fake news at maraming information no, na pinoprocess ang ating mga kababayan. Kanina na-mention ko yung Action Fund sa DMW. Ang OWA naman ang may hawak ng ERF, yung napaka-importanting pondo na Emergency Repatriation Fund. Kaya po, yan po ang pumupondo sa repatriation cost ng ating mga kababayan. At ang main purpose po niyan ay katulad ng sa mga sitwasyon na meron tayo ngayon. Kaya napaka-importante po nitong ERF, and that's why we stand ready. Ready po ang gobyerno, yan po ang direktiba ng ating mahal na Pangulo, na doon sa mga kababayan po natin na nagdesisyon ng umuwi, iuuwi po natin sila.
Thank you, Admin. And yung question na from our friend from Daily Tribune.
Ay, okay na po. Good morning, Sec. Good morning, Undersecretaries po. Question lang po regarding dun sa mga na-stranded, yung sa 58. I'd like to ask lang po kung kailan po sila nagsimulang mag-travel. Kasi po, di ba, parang last week, meron na pong several announcements of airspace closures.
Sabi ko kanina, most if not all of them, ang tinutumbok na date of travel is Friday, Saturday, Sunday last week.
Oh.
So yan pa yung hindi pa natin nakita talaga yung impact sa travel.
Mhm.
Understandably so, no? Some of them still bore the hope na pwede. Ngayon, it takes some time to bring them back for some, if not all of most of them. Kasi yung rebooking, hindi ganun kadali yung the moment na alam mong hindi na pwede, makakalipad ka kagad pabalik. So it takes a bit of time to do the turnaround depending on the rebooking ng tao. And as you know, with what's going on, talagang pahirapan ngayon sa booking.
Last question po for clarification lang po. Kanina po you mentioned na you are in coordination na po with recruitment agencies, the licensed recruitment agencies. So does this mean po na parang meron na po kayong directive sa kanila na hindi na po pwedeng ipa-travel yung mga OFWs papunta po dun sa mga country na yun?
Sec Bernard, kasi siya rin ang in charge sa pakikipag-usap sa mga recruitment agency associations.
In accordance po sa instruction ng ating mahal na secretary, we met the associations yesterday. Kausap po natin yung pinakamalaking asosasyon, yung PAMAJOR, yung members and officers niya, at isinama natin yung Foreign Recruitment Agency Association sa Jordan. So mismo, yung Foreign Recruitment Agency sa Jordan ay pinakiusapan po natin na ipaliwanag sa Jordanian employer na hindi muna makaka-join yung ating mga workers dahil sa umiiral na sarado yung airspace. So naipaliwanag po natin yon at mag-aantay po sila at handa po silang tumulong sa lahat po ng na-stranded at pipigilan muna nila ang deployment tulad po ng sinabi ni Secretary kanina, hindi muna sila magpapadeploy.
Thank you po.
Sec, last two questions, Sec. Okay, none on the crowd, may question po dito, Sec, sa sa ating from clarification po from Ma'am Marita again from PNA. Ang question po niya is, PH government din po ba ang gumagastos ng pamasahe pabalik ng mga stranded? Pag sinabing need for assistance, not repatriation po ba yun?
Yung mga OFWs na who were stranded at the Dubai International Airport and those at Abu Dhabi International Airport, ang sumagot ng kanilang pag-uwi or rebooking ay yung airlines. Except for 5 in Dubai, ang nag-asikaso ay ang Migrant Workers Office in Dubai. Sinagot nila through the Action Fund. And we will coordinate with the concerned agencies para maayos nila yon at maibalik dito sa atin.
Thank you, Yusek Pili. Last question po is from, ito sir, magandang question, from Jerome Toledo of RP World Service. Sa sitwasyon po ba na ito sa Middle East, dito na po ba gagamitin yung kaka-launch po natin na National Reintegration Network po?
That pretty much applies here, di ba? Kasi kanina do sa tanong about anong tulong sa mga nanunumbalik, nagbanggit na ako, nag-enumerate na ako ng mga iba't ibang ahensya na kabilang doon sa National Reintegration Network. So tama yon. So nandyan na yung aside from DMW OWA, of course, nandyan ang DOH, DSWD, DOT, DTI, DA ni Sec Kiko Laurel, and then TESDA. Ayan, among others, no? So tama yung tanong na yon. DOST is also part of the National Integration Network. So we will also tap the DOST for the science-related jobs na pwedeng pasukan ng ating mga nanunumbalik.
Okay, thank you, Secretary. So this last message, siguro, Secretary, if you will give your last message to end the press con.
Siguro, this is the hour to make ourselves available to our people. So tama yung binanggit ni Usec PY, ni Admin PY kanina na mga helplines. That's pretty much what we need to always disseminate to everybody. Tulungan mode tayo ngayon. Pag-aruga mode tayo ngayon. At tulong sa pagpapauwi mode. So, yun lang. 1348 hotline is the general hotline plus 632 kung nasa labas ng bansa. But there are specific hotlines yung pinakita ni Admin P kanina. Maybe we could ask Admin P also to make a closing remark.
Admin PY, can you give your closing remarks po?
Maraming salamat po, Seth. On the part of OWA, tuloy-tuloy lang po. No? And tulungan po ang ginagawa namin ngayon, hindi lamang ng DMW at OWA. Dito talaga kitang-kita yung one DMW approach namin. But of course, on-site, yung ating one country team approach with our embassies. Ito ang panahon na talagang magbayanihan at nakita natin nung isang araw at gagawin natin tuloy-tuloy din, ma-mention namin, na nakikipag-usap kami diretso sa mga Filipino community leaders. Nung isang araw kasama natin kami dalawa ni Sec Hans mismo ang nakausap ng mga community leaders. No? And importante yon kasi natutuwa nga kami at yung iba sa kanila, most sa kanila, Sec, di ba, gustong tumulong, kung paano daw sila tumulong sa kapwa nila mga OFWs, kapwa nila mga Pilipino doon. So nakikita dito sa ganitong klaseng sitwasyon na namamayagpag yung bayanihan spirit ng mga Pilipino. So, I just want again to remind everyone, meron tayong hotline, hindi mag-isa yung OFW, may kausap tayo na pwedeng dito, na pinost po namin dito, yung numbers. Meron tayong mga numbers sa Israel, numbers sa Lebanon, numbers sa Jordan. Ito mga numerong ito, pwedeng tawagan, pwedeng i-WhatsApp, pwede ring i-Viber. At yung ating OWA hotline, mga kababayan, sa mga pamilya ng ating mga OFWs, yung ating national hotline na 1348. Tawag lang po kayo. At alam ko po yung iba sa inyo, mas sanay talagang mag-Facebook. Mag-message lang din po kayo sa Facebook accounts po ng OWA at ng DMW. At kung iwan nyo po yung number nyo at tatawagan po namin kayo agad-agad. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Yun, salamat po, Admin PY. So that wraps up our press conference for today. Maraming salamat, Secretary. Maraming salamat, Admin PY. And to our undersecretaries, maraming salamat po. And to our media friends, maraming salamat po again sa pagdalo. Food will be served.
Lang ako, dahil binanggit ni Admin P yung aming pagdaupalad with the community leaders. Baka lang misinterpret ako doon sa may sinabi kasi ako doon sa Zoom call. Sabi ko yung 75,000 ay para doon lang sa for good na uwi. Sabi, I need to correct that. Basta manunumbalik from Israel, nag-avail ng voluntary repatriation, hindi issue yung whether or not for good ang pagbabalik, we will give the financial assistance. Kasi yun, pantawid yun eh. Ang mahalaga ngayon, they are out of harm's way. Okay? We want to get them out of harm's way. So uwi, and then we will provide the pantawid na 75,000 from the DMW side and 75,000 from the OWA side. So again, as I said, that's good for more or less 2 months salary ng isang caregiver sa Israel. So again, it doesn't matter whether one is returning for good. Basta nag-avail ng voluntary repatriation services, we will provide the financial assistance.
Thank you.
Okay. Are we hearing that? Okay. Hindi